You think you know the whole story about Jeffrey Epstein? Thing. Again. For years, the headlines have been filled with lurid details and powerful names. But what if I told you that was just the tip of the iceberg? What if the network was even wider, more influential, and more protected than anyone ever imagined? We've been digging, following the money, and connecting the dots, and what we've found is truly chilling. New evidence is emerging, not just from court documents, but from flight logs, financial records, and brave whistleblowers who are finally stepping forward. This isn't just about one man's depraved actions, it's about a sophisticated global network that enabled him. Let's start with the infamous flight logs from Epstein's private jet, the Lolita Express. We've all heard the big names associated with it, but recently unsealed documents reveal a much longer list of passengers. We're talking about tech moguls, respected academics, and even figures from the world of science and philanthropy. Why were they flying with him? The official line is often business or charity. But when you cross-reference these trips with the timelines of victim testimonies, a disturbing pattern emerges. These weren't just casual flights, they were carefully orchestrated events, often leading to Epstein's private island, Little St. James. New analysis of satellite imagery and island visitor logs suggests the traffic to this so-called paradise was far heavier than previously reported, painting a picture of a non-stop operation. Now, let's follow the money. Epstein presented himself as a brilliant financier, a mystery man who made his fortune from nothing. But newly uncovered financial documents tell a different story. They show massive, often inexplicable, transfers of wealth between Epstein and some of the world's most powerful financial institutions and individuals. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars moving through a complex web of shell corporations and offshore accounts. Who was really funding him? Was he just managing their money? Or was he a gatekeeper, a fixer, who used finance as a cover for something far more sinister? The evidence suggests that his financial acumen wasn't just for generating wealth, but for creating a system of control, influence, and blackmail. One of the most unsettling aspects we've uncovered is the web of connections that extended into the world of academia and science. Epstein donated millions to prestigious institutions like Harvard and MIT. But it wasn't just about philanthropy. He was actively cultivating relationships with top scientists, hosting conferences, and funding specific research projects. Why? New correspondence reveals his deep obsession with controversial scientific theories. He wasn't just a donor. He was trying to insert himself into the scientific elite, using his money and connections to gain legitimacy and access. This raises serious questions about the integrity of these institutions and whether they turned a blind eye to his behavior in exchange for funding. The most crucial part of this story comes from the survivors. Their courage is the key that unlocks this entire conspiracy. Recent legal proceedings have forced the release of more testimonies, and these women describe a systematic, organized trafficking ring that was shockingly professional. They detail how they were recruited, groomed, and passed between powerful men. Their stories are not isolated incidents. They are part of a consistent, repeatable pattern that points to a well-oiled machine. It wasn't just Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. There were recruiters, handlers, and a network of enablers who made it all possible. This new evidence reinforces that the true scale of this operation has been tragically underestimated. So what does this all mean? It means the Epstein story is far from over. It's a sprawling saga of power, money, and corruption that reaches into the highest echelons of society. The new evidence shows that this was not the work of a lone wolf, but a network that is still largely intact and unpunished. The questions we need to be asking now are: who else knew? Who else participated? And who is still protecting them? The search for justice continues, and we have to keep demanding answers. Thank you for watching. If you believe these stories need to be told, please like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the topics that matter.